2 games down, 1 to go from Mohegan Sun on the opening day of the Big East tournament presented by Jeep. The capper is a matchup between Georgetown and Xavier. The Hoyas are in search of win number 20 on the season, while the Musketeers want nothing more than to stun the Hoyas with their first conference win in over 2 years. Here's a look at the bracket. 2 games in the books, 1 more still to go. That's the finale on day 1 here in Uncasville. Hey everybody, and welcome inside Mohegan Sun Arena alongside Monica Moore. Adam Giardino with you. The third member of our crew, Megan Caffrey, will be along in just a little bit. When we look at the updated bracket, what jumps out at you after a couple of games?
Well, it can be a challenge when you've played a team already multiple times. You know you're going to have to mix things up during the tournament. And for instance, we saw that in the Butler-Providence game. Providence came out, knocked down a lot of shots from behind the three-point line, showed some different looks. They found a lot of success. That's what you have to do come tournament time. You cannot be predictable. You have to have new tricks up your sleeve.
These teams are squaring off for a 3rd time this season, but it's so rare to face a team back-to-back, and that's what these two teams are doing here today.
That's right, but Xavier learned a lot of lessons last time these two teams played. They did not defend the three-point line well. They did not get good traps in the low post, and they went flat in the second half. They know they cannot do those things today if they want to defeat a team like Georgetown.
For the Xavier Musketeers and the Georgetown Hoyas, we'll take a look at the top guns for each of them. And Michaela Scarlett, Kelsey Ransom, as talented as any duo in this conference.
Michaela Scarlett is so important to Xavier, and Billy Chambers told us she had a heart-to-heart with her this week. She told her, we go as you go. We need you to take over during this tournament. That's what they're looking for from Scarlett. Meanwhile, Kelsey Ransom has been tremendous all year long. Her defensive game is tremendous, and her ability to take the ball downhill, to draw the fouls, to get to the line, she is a standout. We'll be coming up next with opening tip. It's Xavier versus Georgetown in the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament.
Darnell Haney chats things over with his team on a 10-0 run to begin the 3rd quarter. This is the season for the Georgetown Hoyas, where when it began, you didn't know where it would go. And it certainly produced fruitful results, especially for this trio.
So well deserved for Kelsey Ransom, co-defensive player of the year. She is a lockdown defender. You will see something switch on her face, and you know she is going into Kelsey defensive mode, and there is no way you're going to shut her down. She will get her steals. She will convert. Brianna Scott, 6th Woman of the Year. She could start at so many places. She comes off the bench for Georgetown, and Grace Ann Bennett. No one epitomizes sportsmanship like Grace Ann Bennett.
It catches the rim with 1 second on the shot clock. Xavier had to force it up. Grace Ann Bennett gets her hands on it, ultimately earning the held ball situation. But with 6 points, 6 rebounds, and a block shot, Xavier wouldn't really describe Grace Ann as neighborly on the court, right? It seems like she's going for keeps when she's out there.
No, she certainly is able to strike that balance. And it's interesting, it's something that Tasha Butts, Georgetown's head coach, who passed away before the season started, talked about so much, about how you can be tenacious and empathetic at the same time. You can be that tenacious lockdown defender, but you can also be empathetic and have that heart. She wanted to instill that in her players, and Grace Ann Bennett, to me, is that type of Tasha tough player.
Back-to-back years as the recipient of that award. Hard to do too much better than that if you're Bennett. A 3 drilled out of the corner as the lead grows. Alex Cowan.
And she's been in a bit of a shooting slump. The shots have not been falling for Alex Cowan, and all of a sudden today, she has been able to find the open looks that she has wanted, and she has absolutely buried it. It's been a great day for Alex Cowan.
Yeah, 2 for 4 is a good day, but when you're 1 for your last 20 coming in, that is a huge day for Cowan.
And that's such great coaching by the Georgetown coaching staff, encouraging her to keep taking her shots when she has the open looks. And just like we've been talking about with Michaela Scarlett, Alex Cowan has been contributing in so many other different ways, as the Hoyas will turn the ball over, but she is the primary ball handler. They trust the ball in her hands. They have had to have that role this year, and Alex Cowan has delivered. I think the Hoyas did such a good job with the transfer portal to bring in players like Alex Cowan, Maya Benbury. Both of those players have added so much with their experience. Kelsey Ransom again, turning up the heat on the defensive end.
And a little too hot to handle in close quarters. Benbury feeding Claude.
That's unlucky for Georgetown. They did all the things well, except they turned the ball over. And now Xavier, can they make the Hoyas pay for the mistake?
For Xavier, it's been the better part of 7-8 minutes now without a point. 13-0 in the quarter for Georgetown, part of a larger 15-0 run to the end of the first half.
And I think the best sign for Georgetown, it hasn't just been one player that has heated up. It has been a true team performance. That's when Georgetown is at their best, when everyone is getting involved in the offense, finding their moments, playing smart basketball, and they play as a team.
And this defense from Georgetown, it is ratcheting up.
It's what we expect. It's what we know about the Hoyas. It is the signature of this Georgetown women's basketball program. Everyone knows about it. People fear it because when they are on fire, it is stifling.
Just talking with Coach Haney yesterday, as you saw the conversation with Megan Caffrey at halftime, he'll talk a mile a minute. He's got this infectious energy and personality, this voice that just grabs your ear. And he goes, yeah, the Nightmare on M Street, which is the street that runs through Georgetown's campus. We all kind of paused for a second and said, did you come up with that right now? He said, yeah, I did.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He had another one this season that I absolutely loved, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but he was talking about the fact that Chick-fil-A does chicken, Starbucks does coffee, Georgetown does defense.
Was the list longer when he said, I get the sense that it probably was.
I didn't do it credit, but he is so good on the spot. And you know that his players love playing for him. He has an infectious personality.
Blackford can't get it to go. The drought rolls on for this Musketeers offense.
And Georgetown continuing to take advantage. They did not have the start they wanted in this contest, but they kept their composure. Ransom doing all the work, but just not able to make the shot fall.
Raj puts it on a string, but she comes up empty.
And that's a bit of a storyline for Xavier. It's felt like the entire third quarter has gone that way for the Musketeers. The offense has fallen off. They have not gotten the looks they've wanted.
Georgetown has gotten everything that they've wanted, doubling up the Musketeers.
If they can get production like that offensively from Alex Cowan in this tournament, Georgetown's going to be able to make a huge run.
18-0 in the quarter. Back to when Xavier had its largest lead. An extended 42-10 leisurely run out for Georgetown over 3 quarters. Scarlett will finally get something to look at the rim at the free throw line. Let's send it over to Megan.
Yeah, Adam, well, when you and Monica were just talking about Georgetown's defense and how Coach Haney talked about the soul that it has to it, he even further told us it just has this feeling, and I absolutely love it because in one of the earlier huddles, he came over to his team. It was after a great defensive effort by them, and he looked at all of them on the bench and he goes, did you guys feel that? Because I felt it. It was great.
That's the soul that Georgetown's defense has. He said, when we're doing it, and doing it well, everybody knows And I think he also was really great with the honesty with this team at the beginning of the year. He said, we're not the Golden State Warriors. We're the Miami Heat. If we try to be the Golden State Warriors, we're going to win no games this year. He said that to his entire team. They bought in. And it's buying in at the offensive end there. A flashy dime.
Your 6th player of the year, Brianna Scott. I have loved so many things about her game this year, but the thing that I have loved the most is the leadership that we're starting to see out of Brianna Scott. Right now, getting her team all fired up, showing the energy, the emotion, how much she is dialed into this game and her team's success. She is poised for a fantastic postseason, and I cannot wait to see her next year.
A free throw fell from Scarlett. Xavier still without a field goal here in the 3rd.
And that's a credit to Georgetown's defense. We've been talking about it so much this 3rd quarter, but it really has been the storyline in the 3rd. Scott's going to get whistled for the foul right there. But Georgetown has completely taken Xavier out of the rhythm that we saw in the 1st quarter. They have shut down the looks that were falling for the Musketeers. And it can be deflating at times when you are playing a team that is so sound defensively like Georgetown is. Question for Scarlett is, can she get it going from the free throw line? Now she sees that shot go in the basket. She's a 74.7% free throw shooter. Can this get Michaela Scarlett going?
Splits the pair again. 2 points in the quarter for Xavier. Back on December 30th, they had 3 in a quarter against Villanova.
I think another really important thing for Georgetown is you saw the way they won the game against Xavier to close out the regular season. It was a lot of Victoria Rivera from behind the three-point line. Today, the storyline has been a lot different, but I think it's important for the Hoyas that they can beat teams in different ways. And as you talked about, Georgetown, they're not known for being the sharpshooters. This is more their brand of basketball today. And they have had different players stepping up at different moments to carry the offensive load.
Georgetown can effectively bring this all the way down to the end of this quarter.
You see they are just letting some time elapse off the clock.
Line drive. Shot from the wing. Claude stripped.
Big play by Purvis.
Flings it high and wide as the quarter comes to a close. No field goals to speak of for Xavier as Georgetown opens up quite a margin. 20-2. The Hoyas outscore Xavier. 10 minutes left in this one.